grow in your prayer life in the last month or two, asking you if you prayed about something, and you said yes, you definitely did pray about it, and you actually heard God telling you some things. And I'm so proud of you that you actually are listening to God's direction and that you are hearing His voice.
You're taking your faith seriously by being involved in church and Bible study and being a leader in Teens Encountering Christ as a Wheat Rec Torah, and I'm very proud of you for that.
Beginning of school in 9th grade, you really did not try very hard in school. You kind of slacked off a little bit, and then I think later on in 11th grade you realized that you really do need to try your very best in school and in order to succeed.
Spiritually, we've just seen you develop so much. This heart that you have for Cuba, for the Cubans, the fact that you got me down there once and you're getting me down there again this summer, shows how much you care for the people there. You pour out your heart to them, you pour out your finances to them. You just have a big heart for the people there, and that's been so blessed for us to see.
I've really seen you grow in how you face life, how you make choices, how you go about all your decision making. You're a very independent person, and that is one of the things I love very much about you. But I also see that there are times when you know you need to ask for help.
Megan, I've seen you grow tremendously in the last 4 years, from being a young middle schooler, just entering school and not knowing anyone, to being a grown young woman who has a job of her own and is very responsible and trustworthy, and I'm excited to see where you're going to go in the future.
Through your participation in church, through your participation in school activities, in youth group, and really see that as a blessing in what you do and the woman you've become.
I watched you start as a young teenager, maybe a little bit self-absorbed, and you've grown into this awesome young woman that has a true love for other people around you and a sincere caring. And it's so amazing to see where you have gone and where you're going to go with what God has given you.
You've grown to be more responsible. I think that's shown in that you work and that you're paying for things, and that you truly seem to think about what you do and why you do it. Think that you do try to do what you do for God, and I think that shows some real growth.
Really, I think you've grown into your leadership abilities. I've just seen you take an initiative with that here in youth group, even from when you were in 9th grade, doing the halls for homecoming, but then seeing that develop into something here in youth group, and even taking leadership with some of your opinions about how things should go.
Some of the biggest growth that I've seen is leadership. And you do it not necessarily always by being the front, but doing it uniquely. And you found a unique way to motivate people through your leadership.
Just with God just molding and shaping your heart, for one, with your profession of faith. That was a big thing. And then I just love your heart's desire for missions.
You've grown in your maturity and thinking of other people first before yourself. That's a huge step in growing up.
I know there's been times when it hasn't been easy in the last few years with everything we've gone through as a family, and I know that there's been times when you've questioned your faith and questioned God, as we all do during tough times, but I also know that you've grown so much in your belief and how you look to Him for direction and in your faith, and that's one thing that I think is very precious and that I'm very proud of you for.
I love it that you're not afraid to laugh at yourself and have other people laugh at you. You think that's hilarious, and I would be mortified at some of the stuff that you think is funny, and that's great.
You're showing a commitment that goes beyond what you want to do all the time. You're committed to showing up and being part of things, and I think it shows that it's not just something you think that you're supposed to do, but that it's part of your relationship with Christ and you want that to grow.
I think too, Aaron, you've just grown more into who you are. Just more confident in yourself, confident in your decisions. We always knew your strong will would serve you well, and I think this is one way that it serves you well. You know your mind and you know what's important to you, and you've just really grown in confidence in making decisions and feeling good about them and just being who you are.
You're getting ready to graduate, you're real close to having a full-time job, and job training or college, if you want to call it that, goes along with it. And I hope you keep God as the center of your life, and that will make the whole world complete.
I have seen you, Mackenzie, grow with your friends, just how much you've had fun with them, yet also how you talk about your family, with your sisters, your mom and dad. You've just matured so much more in the last 4 years, and we're so proud of you and the decisions you've made.
I think that you've always been such a great friend and person and a great brother. But when Drew got sick is when I saw you really step up as a leader and as a spiritual helper for him. When you would call him at night and you would pray with him and you would encourage him when things were tough. That was a huge step for you, and I just see that as huge growth right there.
To become your own person, not caring about the drama, not caring about really what anybody thinks, and just being you. And you're showing us the love that you have for us and your family and the friends that you have.
You become a good friend because people feel that they can lean on you and talk to you, and sometimes that's all that we want in friendships, is someone to hear us, and Grant, you do a great job with that. We as parents sometimes can learn from your maturity at that level.
You know, you used to think like a boy. You used to act like a boy. You don't do that as much anymore. You're still growing. I'm still growing. I'm over 50 and I still act like a boy. But you're learning to act like a man and to behave like a man. But mentally, you are starting to be a man.
You're starting to learn to look beyond yourself. That's something that's I've been very proud of too. Whether it be working with kids at church or doing things down at Bridge Street, you've started to realize that there's more to life than just yourself and your own insular little world that you've grown up in, and that there's a bigger world out there, and there's people that have grown up differently than you, think differently than you, and yet their lives are just as valid as yours and their experience is just as valid as yours.
When you went to Bishop, and the first year when you said that's where you were going, I thought, oh shoot, poor Hannah, she's not going to go to some big faraway place. And yet year after year I've seen that Bishop has been a pivotal point in your life where you've gone from looking at the world around you to realizing the world is right in your own neighborhood and the people you work with, and you don't have to go anywhere to share God's love, and that's what you love about life.